Guys, okay, so I've had a lot of you ask me about my Instant Pot roast pork that I do. So I'm gonna go ahead and make it for you. I've got my Instant Pot. I need to grab the center part, which I actually just cleaned. Nice stainless steel, shiny. All right, I'm gonna put it in and I'm going to turn my Instant Pot to saute, just like that. I'm gonna let it sit for a couple minutes. While that happens, I grabbed some things together. You can do this yourself. I'm using red palm oil. It's one of my favorites. I wanted to get warm so I can start to brown my pork. And then I've also got Himalayan red sea salt off Amazon. I will share that link. It's a lot. I mean, I bought this jar 6 months ago, and I make this every week. And then organic bone stock because I was lazy and didn't make my own this week. And then I also suggest some tongs. I like these because, you know, they can do that. And then I have a 3-pound roast. You do not have to have a roast that is that large. And I'm going to move this a little bit so you can see my roast back here. In fact, I'll just switch places. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take my sea salt and I am going to salt my roast. I love this little spoon. I can just sprinkle it over just like that. Some people like to add garlic. I generally eat this with avocado. And so I don't, but you can. You can definitely put some garlic in here. Just rub it in really good. Make sure that it's in there. And then, not quite there. Flip it over, season again, and yes, my hands are getting all gross. I'll wash my spoon and my hands in just a minute. Leave the fat on there because it will keep it moist as it cooks. Because you don't want your roast to dry out, because this is absolutely delicious throughout the week for lunches and stuff, and dinners, anything where you need an easy meal. And I know this looks like a ton of salt, and it is. But you got to remember, you're going to be putting this in a pressure cooker and it's going to be cooking down. So you want to have enough on there that you don't, that it's flavored, because the Himalayan salt isn't the same as regular salt. It actually has a really smoky flavor. So you don't need to add other seasonings that you would typically would. Okay, that's warm. Let me wash my hands. I'll be right back. Ow. I am going to not walk into my open dishwasher again. And I'm going to grab this and just grab a scoop and let it melt. If you haven't used red palm oil, do. My husband hates the flavor of coconut oil because he said that it just is too fruity. So I use red palm oil. I love it. It's got a nice, even flavor. It is bright orange, so if you have an issue with your food changing colors, you may want to just use lard instead. Then I'm going to take my roast, and because I can do everything in my Instant Pot, I don't have to dirty another pan. I'm going to put it down in there and let it simmer just a little bit. Get that out of there. And I am going to just let it simmer. I've got my tongs so I can flip it when I need to. And I'm getting my plate back over here because when I'm done with this, I'm actually going to pull it out and put the little rack in to hold it up while it cooks. And like I said, this is about a 3.5 pound roast, which means it's going to take about an hour to cook, which really, if you've cooked a pork roast before, you know it takes 18 to 20 hours to do it right, especially with a recipe like this. And I love that I can saute in the pot and not affect or not make another dirty dish. All right. Whoops. So get your tongs in there, flip it over. You want to get a decent brown on it, because otherwise you're just going to end up with kind of a anti-crust, which is okay. It's just not what we're going for. I'm going to open my bone stock while we're doing this. If you don't have time to make your own bone stock, I always keep these. You can get them in beef stock as well. They're Pacific. They're smaller than regular stock, but they are so good. Bone stock is so good for you. You get all of that goodness. All right. Let it cook. I could adjust the temperature in here on the saute by using the more or less button. Here, I'll turn this so you can see. By using the more or the less button. I found that just normal works really well for this type of thing. If I were to be cooking, say, you know, ribs or something, I might want it to be a little bit higher. Oh, see? And you can see it's getting nicely browned. I have it propped up against the side of the pot, because the nice thing about the Instant Pot, it's not just the bottom that gets hot, it's the sides as well, so I can actually brown all sides of the meat, which is a pretty cool trick. And we're going to just do that real quick. Get the bottom here so that everyone's happy. You can also do this exact same recipe using carnitas. Just because if you've ever used carnitas, they're essentially a pork butt, but they're chopped into a bunch of little pieces. So do yourself a favor and do them a few at a time, and just pull them on a plate, and then you can continue as I continue. And they're really good. Just go a little bit lighter on the salt. Only salt at the top. All right. Got a couple more little pieces to get. And I'm getting a nice caramelization on the bottom of the Instant Pot, which will actually help the flavor. You know, we aren't looking to cook it this way. We're just looking to get the outsides a little bit brown. Okay, I'm pulling that out. And now what I'm going to do is going to steam. I'm going to add some bone stock to get that goodness off the bottom, and so that it doesn't dry out. And I'm going to drop in my wrap. Open it up. I'm going to hit cancel. I'm going to put this baby back in. Fat up, y'all. Put the fat side. You're going to notice that there's one side that's fat. That's great. Put that side up. And then we're going to take our lid, put it on, lock it, and you don't want it, I don't like it to vent, because this way it cooks actually faster. And then you're going to go to your meat stew setting, and you're going to adjust the time. And I said 3 pounds, it's about 20 minutes per pound. So we're going to do 60 minutes in here. And that's all you have to do, and it will, it'll beep in a minute saying that it's ready to go, and then you can literally just walk away. And that's it. I will come back on and let you know when it's done. Bye.